Pretty nervous, so let me start off with a joke. A guy walks into a library, goes up to the attendant and says, "Yeah, could I get a burger and fries, please?" The attendant says, "Sir, this is a library." He says, "Oh, sorry, could I get a burger and fries, please?" That was a dumb joke. My name's Julius Van Rooyen. I'm out of Nashville, Tennessee, direct to Jeff Schultz and Brandon Manley at AMG. And today, thank you. Today I want to talk to the newer agents out there struggling to build momentum, struggling to break through, just get traction, like a lot of us really struggled with early on, and show you how I was able to end last year number 5 in total rookie production without any prior sales experience whatsoever. I'll dive into a little bit of me and my story, then I'll go into some daily actions, actionable steps you can implement into your business, and then finish off with a couple things on mindset. Before I get into that, there's a few people I need to thank. First of all, Andy and Jane for creating this incredible company, giving us all this opportunity to thrive and build a legacy. Next, my uplines, Jeff Schultz and Brandon Manley at AMG. The first 6 months in this business, I leaned on them heavily. I blew up their phones 10 times a day, minimum, right? And they answered every single time, so I wouldn't be on the stage without them. And finally, I need to thank my beautiful wife, Ellen. A man's loyalty is tested when he has everything, and a woman's loyalty is tested when her man has nothing. And with everything we've gone through together, all the failures, the negative account balances, the 400 credit scores, failed businesses, foreclosed properties, bankruptcy, nothing good on the horizon, she hasn't flinched once. Thank you. I started this business out of sheer desperation. It was January of last year, and it was in the midst of the collapse of my real estate investing business. In the span of 2 years, we went through 3 Category 4 and 5 hurricanes down in Southwest Florida, where we started, directly over our town. We also had the interest rates and the flood insurance increase at the quickest rate in modern US history. We had a number of properties severely damaged, way past what insurance was able to cover. And the properties that were undamaged on the market ready to sell were now in really high risk flood zones, so no one wanted to touch them. On the home front, I was 6 months behind on my mortgage. The loan was in default with a stay-at-home wife and a 3-month-old baby, relying on me. So I needed money. I found Jeff's ad on ZipRecruiter, and long story short, here we are today. So let's get into it. So I'll start off with some daily actions that I used early on to get traction and to start off really well. And if you feel like this is something that you can use to implement into your business, please feel free, steal this. This is for you. Preparation. It doesn't matter what new system I'm using, what lead, what product I'm using. Preparation is the most important thing. What I would do personally is I would print off my script. Not only my script, my objections, different product and competitors' pricings. I would sticky tape it on my wall, 18 inches away from my face. And for 2 days straight, 2 full days before I made my first dial, I would go through my script. I would rehearse over and over and over and over again. I would go through not only the 30-second intro, I would go through the objections and the rebuttals, different scenarios I knew I was going to find myself in, and tonality and spacing and cadence, making sure I didn't sound like a robot, didn't sound too salesy. I would role play with my upline. I would make sure that I did everything in my power so that when that first lead answered the phone, I wasn't going to be scrambling, because I couldn't afford to scramble. Track everything. It doesn't matter if you're in person, over the phone, doing estate planning. All, as you saw, all the estate planning and the annuity people out here, they were tracking all their numbers, from bottom to top, you have to track everything. Your sits, your appointments, your sales, when you build momentum, when you lose momentum, track all that, take it to your upline, assess it, correct course, and then move forward. Because if you're not tracking anything, you're basically you're flying blind, you have nothing to build off. Focus on the controllables. So us as entrepreneurs and 1099 workers and founders, we love control. That's why we're in this business. We are control freaks. And unfortunately, that comes with trying to control the outcomes, right? With that, you're not only going to be drained mentally and physically, but you're also going to be taking away precious resources that you can focus on the things that actually matter, the things that the only things you can control. And there's two things you can control, already here. And we talk about it all the time on the stage, is activity and attitude. Those are the only two things you can control. So if you focus your energy and you structure your day around improving and focusing on those two things, I promise you'll succeed. I can't tell you the timeline, right? But I can promise you'll succeed if you focus on those two things. Over-communicate. Call your upline constantly, all the time. I promise you're not annoying them. I know that's what I felt every single time I called Jeff and Brandon. They want you to call them. It shows them that you want to be here, that you want to succeed, and you want to win. They invested precious resources into you so you can get better and you can be here where we're sitting right now. If they don't answer the phone because they're with a client or with family, there's going to be a group of people who you can lean on in your organization that will answer the phone for underwriting questions and product questions. Basically, the quickest way for you to fail in this industry, it's well over 90% failure rate, as you guys probably know. And the reason is because of isolation. When you're going through bad days and bad weeks, you ruminate, you just drag yourself down, get really negative, and before you know it, you're back to the same place where you swore you would never go back to. So you just got to pick up the phone. It's going to be a bruise to the ego for sure. You just got to call for help, call someone, and communicate, because everyone's going through the same struggles. You just have to commit to calling your upline. Basically the themes that I'm going through here is making it possible to fail, create an environment around you where you have so many fail-safes in place that the only option at the end of the day is for success. You have to make sure that you're doing everything in your power, in your environment, to make it possible to fail. All right, now next is some stuff on mindset. Now, know your why. This is the same thing when you're selling insurance to clients. You have to build the why. Why are they spending $100 a month to never see the benefit, right? Same thing when you're going through the hard yards in the first few months of this business. You have to know your why. Why am I doing this? Who am I doing this for? What am I doing this for? Am I doing this so I can start a legacy? Am I doing this so I can be a first-generation millionaire, so I can get out of my 9-to-5? I know for me personally, what my fork in the road moment was I was about 4 months in, driving home on a Saturday evening after a really bad day, actually really bad 2 weeks. I had 2 full weeks of appointments, 60 to 80 appointments, not one sale. And spent hundreds of leads. I was devastated, driving home, just bawling my eyes out, and thinking, okay, well, this sucks. So tomorrow I'm gonna look for a job and go from there. Can't do this anymore. Drove home, I pulled into the driveway, wiped my tears, and walked into the house, and my wife and my son were in the living room. And he turned around and saw me and had a massive smile on his face and said, "Dada." And that was my why. I couldn't quit. I had to keep going. So you have to know your why. This is a boo-boo, wanting the life without the lifestyle. If you want the life without the lifestyle, you're guaranteed failure. It's like wanting Andy's jets without putting in Andy's hours. It's wanting Riddle's income without being willing to travel across the country every week to visit agents. It's wanting Belle Krause and her husband's, Belle Krause's annuity production without being willing to be the seminar guinea pig for a whole year, right? It's the iceberg effect, the shiny 5% stuff on top that everyone sees, the life without seeing the 95% underneath the water, the blood, sweat, and the tears, and the uncertainty, and the hours and the miles that you go through to try and build that lifestyle, to invest in that lifestyle so you can have that life. Investing and committing to the lifestyle is including going to all events, all hotspots in your surrounding areas. It's going to attending all of our Zoom calls every week and your team calls and your training calls, because if you're not committed to the lifestyle, then you have no right to complain that you don't have the life. Terry loved that. Verbiage is a really big thing for me personally, psychologically, so I can get out of bed, even on hard times. It's changing from have to get to. It's like, I have to make 600 dials this week to get all my appointments. No, you get to. I have to spend money and go to Burlington 4 times a year. Where is Burlington? I have to do that? No, you get to. You get to invest money into your skills and your business, and you get to go to Burlington, and you get to meet the people who are going to help you change your life, because there are millions of people in this country and around the world who would do unspeakable things to have the opportunity we have and sit in the seats that we're sitting in. Because at the end of the day, when all the dust is settled, you get to tell your family and friends how you persevered through the struggle. And you get to tell your kids that you're going on vacation next week. You get to tell your father-in-law that you bring his daughter home from the workforce. You get to do that because you got to go through the hard times. The struggle is a privilege. It's something that is a rite of passage in this industry. The struggle is what's going to build you up into the success that you see in the mirror every single morning. My favorite quote, smooth seas don't make a skilled sailor. Everyone wants to be a skilled sailor until it's time to go through some rough seas, right? Rough seas, they are inevitable. You don't have to like them. Most people don't like them. I don't like them, but you have to. It's a part of the process. You have to go through the rough seas. Okay, so the last few minutes that you've got me up here, and it's such an honor to be up here speaking with you guys after the journey that I've been on the last 18 months with everyone. I'm going to read a real short book on perseverance. Some of the parents in the room may know this book. It's called "Oh, the Places You'll Go." It may be a children's book. It translates really well into our business, all the struggles we go through, all the highs and lows, the uncertainty, the chargebacks. Translates really well. My wife and I got this book as a baby shower gift before our son was born. Then when he was born, I read this book to him 4 or 5 times a week. I still read it to him to this day. And this was in the middle of everything, collapsing around us. And I realized after a while that I wasn't reading it to him, I was reading it to me. And so I hope you got something out of it. And forgive me if I get a little emotional. Okay. Thank you. Congratulations, today is your day. You're off to great places, you're off and away. You have brains in your head and you have feet in your shoes, and you can steer yourself any direction you choose. You're on your own and you know what you know, and you are the guy who'll decide where to go. You look up and down streets, look them over with care. About some you'll say, I don't choose to go there. With your head full of brains and your shoes full of feet, you're too smart to go down any not-so-good street. You may not find any you'll want to go down. In that case, of course, you'll head straight out of town. It's open there, in the wide open air. Out there, things can happen and frequently do to people as brainy and footsy as you. And when things start to happen, don't worry, don't stew. Just go right along. You'll start happening too. Oh, the places you'll go. You'll be on your way up. You'll be seeing great sights. You'll join the high flyers who soar to high heights. You won't lag behind because you'll have the speed. You'll pass the whole gang, and soon you'll take the lead. Wherever you fly, you'll be best of the best. Wherever you go, you'll top all the rest. Except when you don't, because sometimes you won't. I'm afraid to say so. I'm sorry to say so, but sadly it's true that bang-ups and hang-ups can happen to you. You can get all hung up in a prickly perch, your gang will fly on, and you'll be left in a lurch. You'll come down from the lurch with an unpleasant bump, and the chances are then that you'll be in a slump. And when you're in a slump, you're not in for much fun. Unslumping yourself is not easily done. You'll come to a place where the streets are not marked. Some windows are lighted, but mostly they are dark. A place you could sprain both your elbow and shin. Do you dare stay out? Do you dare go in? How much can you lose? How much can you win? And if you go in, should you turn left or right and 3/4, or maybe not quite, or go around back and sneak in from behind? Simple it's not. I'm afraid you will find, for a mind maker upper to make up his mind. You can get so confused that you'll start into race down long wiggled roads at a breaknecking pace and grind up for miles across weirdish wild space, headed, I fear, toward the most useless place, the waiting place, for people just waiting for a train to go, or a bus to come, or a plane to go, or the mail to come, or the rain to go, or the phone to ring, or the snow to snow, or waiting around for a yes or no, or waiting for the hair to grow. Everyone is just waiting for the fish to bite, or waiting for wind to fly a kite, or waiting around for Friday night, or waiting perhaps for their Uncle Jake, or a pot to boil, or a better break, or a string of pearls, or a pair of pants, or a wig with curls, or another chance. Everyone is just waiting. Not you. Somehow you'll escape all that waiting and staying. You'll find the bright places where boom bands are playing. With banner flip-flopping once more, you'll ride high, ready for anything under the sky. Ready because you were that kind of guy. Oh, the places you'll go. There is fun to be done, there are points to be scored, there are games to be won. And the magical things you can do with that ball will make you the winningest winner of all. Fame. You'll be famous as famous can be, with the whole wide world watching you win on TV. Except when they don't. Because sometimes they won't. I'm afraid that sometimes you'll play lonely games too. Games you can't win because you play against you. All alone, whether you like it or not. Alone will be something, you'll be quite a lot. And when you're alone, there's a very good chance you'll meet things that scare you right out of your pants. There are some down the road between hither and yon that can scare you so much you won't want to go on. But on you will go. Though the weather be foul, on you will go. Though your enemies prowl, on you will go. Though the hack and cracks howl, onward up many a frightening creek. Though your arms may get sore and your sneakers may leak. On and on you will hike, and I know you'll hike far and face up to your problems, whatever they are. You'll get mixed up, of course, as you already know. You'll get mixed up with many strange birds as you go. So be sure when you step with care and great tact. And remember that life's a great balancing act. Just never forget to be dexterous and deft, and never mix up your right foot with your left. And will you succeed? Yes, you will indeed. 98.75% guaranteed. Kid, you'll move mountains. So be your name Boxbaum or Bixby or Bray, or Mordecai, Ali, Van Allen O'Shea. You're off to great places. Today is your day. Your mountain is waiting, so get on your way. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.